welcome to episode 8 of Three Dudes Brews. Three Dudes Brews is our liquid journey into our various perspectives and appreciations of the various craft brew styles here in New England and beyond. And also a celebration of the good people that bring it to us. My name is Buddy Thayer. I'm happy to welcome you all to join us on this epic adventure down Beer River. Joining me on this beautiful voyage, the Greekiest man I know. I like to call him sometimes the Froto of the Froth. Costas Sangaruli.
How's everybody doing? And to my left, we have Dr. Ed Tatanot. Good doctors in the house.
Good doctors in the house. Remember, folks, always listen to your doctor. So we are here with John at Angle Tree in North Attleborough. So, John, before we kick off things, I want to say first, thank you. Thank you for having us. And why don't we tell everybody where exactly you guys are at so they all know how to get here?
Yeah. So we're at 45 Elm Street, North Attleborough, basically downtown North Attleborough.
Nice.
So all you Rhode Islanders, cross the border. It's not far.
It's 10 minutes.
We're a mile and a half from the border, so basically.
Yeah, you can do it, Seth.
Right off Route 1.
It's not
Route 1. You can't miss it.
Yeah, we believe in you. You can do it.
So today, folks, my service dog Alice is with us. So I apologize if you see me kind of looking around. It's she's trying to get settled, and I think she's good now. She's kind of curled up next to Buddy.
I think she needs a beer.
So don't get started on that. I can't afford another beer drinker. So, like I said, so this is a great spot you guys got here. Everybody, you'll see some photos of the place. We have to ask one question right off the bat. Why Angle Tree?
So Angle Tree is a local landmark. It goes back to the 1600s. It's the second oldest boundary marker in the U.S. It is about a mile from here on the North Attleborough and Plainville line.
Okay.
In the 1600s, it was the boundary marker for the Plymouth and Mass Bay colonies.
Back in 1640, I believe.
Yeah.
1640.
Yep. So now it's the Angle Tree stone because in the 1700s, the tree itself fell down. There's whether it was an elm or oak or pine. But back then, the boundaries for the states would go straight to the Pacific Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So the boundary came from the Pacific Ocean to the Angle Tree and angled up to a pond in Plymouth. So that boundary line of even the current counties and Mass are still defined by that.
Nice. It's an OG site marker.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Honestly, being a dork of history, I found that fun fact about you guys last night when I read it on your website. I also found when I was here last week, like there's old pictures in the back of Attleborough, which I took time to appreciate. Of course, I love shit like that. But is that like? Are you? Is it about the history? Is it about the past, the local connections? What's that about?
Mainly local connections. We wanted to be a place for everyone, which is why I suggested a beer hall style tap room, and my partners at the time were very okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted it to be very community focused. We do a ton of fundraisers for any charity that basically reaches out. We'll donate the space. If not, do a kickback. So we're like very, very community focused. Try to be inclusive. I know there's a little debate about families and kids at breweries. We're very family friendly right now.
Yeah, it's a hot topic. Sometimes
I always describe it to my staff as indoor recess, not outdoor recess. They should be seen. They can be heard. They couldn't be heard across the tap room.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have hours where kids are allowed, or they're here? They can come in at any time.
Anytime. I would say the vast majority of families we get, over 80% are probably Sunday afternoons.
Yeah.
We do get some on Fridays, even Saturdays. Very few Friday and Saturday nights, which is, I know, the prime time where a lot of breweries are now shifting to adult onlys. And we do have a 3-strike, you're out.
3.
Okay. Speak to you. You get a warning. Speak to you again. Another warning. They have to say it again. You guys will be asked to leave.
Strike 3 call.
I mean, that goes for anyone, Frank.
Yeah, it's unfair. I mean, because that's just it. I mean, the last thing I want to do is be sitting here enjoying a pint, and then next thing you know, I've got, little Timmy running up and down, bumping me, hitting me,
right. then you just got a block to the forehead.
Doing something. Yeah,
You know, like, yeah, no, that's not okay. But the fact they're in the building, people have a problem with the fact they're in the building. I don't think that's also okay. It's like the 12 kids that are sitting there fine, you wouldn't even know they're here.
Yeah.
Example, somebody that I can never know she's here. And then the one kid's ruining it for everyone. It's like, it's totally fine. Right. We've had families where their parents come in, you can tell, they got 2 preemies and a carrier. They want to get the fuck out of the house and have a beer. And they come in for one and they're gone. That's like,
so
you have a brewery, not a daycare.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You're responsible for your kid. We're not.
So when my wife and I were living in New Jersey still, we had a local brewery called the Village Idiot we used to go to all the time. So next thing you know, my wife gets pregnant. We're having twins. We have our oldest daughter. And then so twins are born, family comes down. They're like, hey, I want to go check out that brewery. So here we are with a stroller with the twin babies parked next to the table,
right?
Enjoying beers, So, I mean, all they did was sleep. But no, I mean, it becomes a safety hazard too. I mean, somebody spills a drink and
totally,
some beer on the floor or something.
That's why I was, indoor recess, coloring, blocks, whatever at the table, not football across the tap room.
So when did you guys open up?
So 2022. We started the build out in 2021.
Yeah.
I told my wife I wanted to do a brewery in 2020, and she wanted to murder me. Prime COVID. I actually started the Johnson & Wales craft beer program.
Okay.
The semester before COVID happened.
Yeah.
And then second semester, second class, it goes first class in person, second class. So this thing's going on. We might have to go remote. It was like, okay, how do we do a tasting class remotely? Did it, and finished during all that fun. So we had our 2-year in August.
That's great.
Nice.
Yeah. How'd you get into before that?
So I mean, in college, I always drink better than like you go to a party.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's drinking Bud Light. I always bring
bring your
Killian.
Yeah.
6-pack of Killian. Get drunk on that, and then switch to the stuff I didn't care I was drinking. Did a little craft brew, home brewing after college, and then I got actually really sick. Bunch of surgeries, so I wanted to do something I liked and enjoyed. So that's when I started the craft beer program at Johnson & Wales, and connected with my partner at this point, it was like, let's see if we can make it work, and we did.
Yeah, you guys definitely make it work. That's for sure.
You said partners at the time.
Yes. So we originally opened with 3. I have 1 partner now. Sorry. So partnerships are hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's whenever you get more than one person involved. I mean, now becomes a game. Well, I want this, I want that.
Right.
You got to compromise. It's like a marriage. It's
right. And as simple as I think we should be doing this, or I want to post this stuff. I'm like, right, but to me, that's going to cause this. Yeah, it's always yeah.
So
partners are fun.
Yeah, they're fun. So you guys noticed we started tasting here. So cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. One thing I noticed about your beers, dude, that probably separates you from. I mean, we go to a lot of breweries. I go to a lot of breweries. I have a lot of beer. I'm an IPA guy. One thing that sticks out to me like huge, that these 2 beers right here, right? Well, I think I know what they are. They're both IPAs, yeah?
Yep.
And they're clear as like a Pilsner. Mm-hmm. That is like absolutely fascinates me. How it's not. Is it filtered? Is it like?
No, it's just.
How do you get it so clear?
It's just that damn good.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, we it's hard because I mean, talking to some other brewers, they always. One of the ones when I was talking to them when I was first opening up, it was I felt like a sellout because I'm making IPAs, and it's like, dude, that's what sells. That's what lets you.
It's a business.
That's what you make, so you can make the other crap that you want to make.
Exactly.
Everyone asks like, "What's your best seller?" I'm like, "It's a seasonal or it's an IPA." No exception.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe very briefly, it'll be something we just released. Over the whole month, it's a seasonal or it's an IPA. Like we had a Winter Warmer November, December, the winter warmer was double the next beer.
Mhm.
You know, it's like, other than that, it's probably Jeffrey because that's the one that's on the most. But it's always an IPA,
You know,
if it's not a seasonal.
and you've got great names.
Yeah.
I love the names.
But they don't like present as your typical IPA. They're not
get-
cloudy. They're not thick. They're not that extra pininess that Costas doesn't like.
This one's a little sweet.
They're not made with Citra. Are they made with?
So they're not my recipes, so I don't know off the top of my head, but yes. And this Citra isn't the only, there's several helps
right.
in there.
Usually Citra is very stand out.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
not-
love it or you hate it.
Yeah. And it's not just like, it's one of many if it is in, I believe it is in both of them.
It's very balanced. It's very
Each of them, I think, have, at least the Jeffrey has a traditional hops that isn't in most. New England.
honestly, both of these guys couldn't tell the difference between your IPA and a Miller Lite the other night. So, in a
Dad's face on a
just appearance. We didn't taste the screen, obviously.
Yeah,
but
We
I
did
mean,
not taste them, folks. I think we would be
from
able to-
10 miles away.
Yeah.
Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so, and that's, yeah.
still couldn't tell the difference.
But you know what, though? You're the first person
You're not
I've
wrong.
talked to.
They're clear.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something we were worried about at first, and we do get comments from people. I asked for New England. It's like, what are you looking for? It's like the citrus, and it's there.
They just want
they happen. Yeah, they just happen to be clear. So we've switched it from NAPI to New England style. Like, try to distinguish it a little because it's like, and everyone there's 140 styles of beer, and everyone's take on those beers is
gonna be a
that's
little different.
and I think that's where craft beer is running into an issue. Everyone's making the New England because that's what people want. I'm like, no, make your New England.
Yeah.
Make your porter. Make your brownie. Like,
You know, back in the day,
everyone asks for. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Everyone asks, oh, you're threatened by our closest brewery is Ravenous. I'm like, no, they're fantastic guys. They make some fantastic beers. They can make our exact lineup, and it would be very different.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, and that's what you should be going with.
different brewers, different there's so many variables
Yeah.
to the brewing process that even the slightest change
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
will change. Like,
Well, we've had some where it's like crap that didn't come out even remotely close to. Like, I'm drinking our dark IPA. It was supposed to be a black IPA that came out brown. My brewer was very upset. Like, dude, it's delicious. Who
So-
cares?
that's you know.
I'm like, we need to do it again. Like, that came out perfect. Like, let's do that again. Yeah.
So you said you have one other business partner, and these are not your recipes, but
No, some of them are. The Good Grief in this is mine. Probably around a third of what's on is mine.
so you guys have like a balance.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those, like, do you have a recipe? No. Do you want to come up with one? Yeah, that's a style I'm into. Like, let me see. I have an idea for that one. Then try to keep it interesting.
Your partner have the same education as you do with beer.
So he was a craft brewer in the 90s. He worked for Portsmouth Brewing. And then you guys know Cottrell in Connecticut.
Yeah.
He literally built all of their equipment and was their head brewer for a while. Got out of it for a long time and wanted to do his own thing.
Nice.
Couldn't get it off the ground. His name's Mike LeBaron. He tried for years, and then our third partner I had met in the Johnson & Wales craft beer program. He lived in North Attleborough also. Knew Mike, brought him in to consult a little bit, and then he got involved that way.
Nice.
So he's more of the physical production end of brewing. He has a lot of experience that end. More of like the set. So I have a lab background, which is why I like brewing. I like the science of brewing. So I'm more on that end, like, oh shit, did you see this cool ass thing about thiol? If you put the pre-thiol compounds into the mash and then like that just geeks me out like so much. So
I want to go back to one thing I was starting to bring up is the fact that we talked to other folks, and you're the first one who's actually said the words out loud that I'm making the IPA so I can make.
Oh, totally.
You were the first one who's admitted it, I think.
Oh.
I don't think anybody else we've talked to who's said
I personally have 0 IPA recipes. Like my homebrew catalog, no IPA recipes, because when I was homebrewing, it was, well, there's a lot of delicious ones out there. Why am I going to waste time on making beer that's essentially what I can already get? And that's not my preferred style. I like hazies. and I actually prefer pale ales over IPAs strictly. So like, yeah, I mean that's what sells. That's what people come in for, and that's right now what people get excited about. But like, I think it is shifting slightly. Still number one, but like the lighter stuff, unique stuff, seasonal stuff, definitely picking up more.
Well, I mean, and you can tell just by going to the liquor store, and we've all talked about this,
Right.
that you go to the liquor store and you're looking, there's a local craft brewery that's got their stuff through distribution. It's on the shelf, and it's IPA.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. One, I appreciate the fact that it means I've got to go to you to get something different.
Right.
I love that. But let's say I don't have the time and you got a beer that I love and now I can't get it.
Correct. So it's tough because like also the distributors only want IPAs typically, or something very unique like our creme brulee cream ale.
It is
Just fantastic.
Yeah, it tastes like cream soda. Yeah, it's.
I don't like cream soda, so it's not my jam.
Oh, man, it's good.
But it is
For us anyway.
it's what people come in for. And that's also another thing. Like, there's a bunch of beers. Like, yeah, it's not my thing, but maybe it's your thing. So
Yeah.
I'll brew it. Like,
Yeah.
I brewed a sour for my wife. That I was like, I don't really like sours. It's my go-to now whenever I don't know what to drink. So we'll get requests from distributors for the creme brulee beer, and IPAs. It's like, dude, like you don't know what you're missing. Like, if I can suggest this, like, all right. And it's tough because it's like we want our beer out, so
You got to play
of
the
course,
game.
yeah. And it's like they're trying to get what's gonna catch someone's eye, and if that's number one, like I mean, we make IPAs. Obviously, because I mean, my partner loves IPAs. I like IPAs. Our brewer loves IPAs. Like, they're the beer right now. And it's like, get you in the door, get you to have one IPA, then maybe you try 3 or 4 others.
Yes.
You get the weird random stuff. Some of the crazy, like, I'll give it a shot. I'll go in. And then you have 3 of the thing you've already had 12 times.
You get your flight. You get your IPA on there. Then you get your cream ale. Then
Yep.
you get your porter and stout. And
And that first unusual beer got you in the door because you're like, wow, that sounds interesting. Or, damn, that sounds good.
Yeah, it is. No, your stout is it's an oatmeal cookie, right? That's the
That one is just an oatmeal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oatmeal. You guys try any other variations like coffee? Even the dessert stouts, so the higher end imperial stouts. Is any?
haven't quite been asking for a friend.
Yeah.
what is it called?
So haven't quite made it there. Like, we like to have, we cover the spectrum: light, IPA, bitter, sweet, dark. So our go-to dark is the porter. Been trying several different darks, but so we made a caramelized honey stout last spring. It's fantastic. I gave it like a nutty, like, it was fantastic. We call it unbelievable.
It sounds.
Yeah. So it came out really good. I did that for St. Patty's last year.
Nice.
And they move, but they're slow movers, so it's hard to keep more than a couple on. Like right now we have 3, I think, and that's probably heavy for us.
What about the cast? You were talking about casts earlier.
We did. The guild did a cask event a month ago, sometime in January, and they did the Firkins with a bunch of different breweries. So I don't know how many, but the head brewer Andrew said that our Good Grief in the Firkin was one of the best beers at the event. I'm like, I'll take it. Like, that's one of my beers, so I appreciate that.
Nice. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day is definitely coming around. So that's the other thing we were talking about is that, so we have another show that we do every other Thursday, The Last Call. It's just us, just live. The show, and live is the show about everything and nothing at the same time.
There you go.
But we were talking about the fact that, like, Guinness, I like a good pint of Guinness, but I never buy it.
Try it.
Unless it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I got that.
It's like, what the hell? I don't get it.
It's the same way you're only having corned beef and cabbage on St. Pat.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're only having turkey and
Turkey on Thanksgiving. All right. I think it's a good default. Like, I think Sam has kind of gotten in that category where it's like you have the light lagers, and then you have Guinness. And if that's the default for most bars, like I can drink a Guinness if that's the only other option. But I think Sam's also getting in that category. And I think that's a great thing where, they're bringing beer up. I don't know if they're necessarily craft anymore. They're just so
I know
massive
they're so big now. Exactly.
that, it's like, okay, if they're now the standard, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like there's still space. There's so much space for us. Craft Chills Town.
For me, Guinness, I mean, it's traditional, I guess. It's what everybody wants to do on St. Paddy's Day to pretend that they're Irish, so want to be Irish. I'm Irish. I prefer different stouts. I mean, it's
Like Reds.
yeah, right. It's more
That's
like it's more of a McDonald's of stouts to me. I don't know. It just seems like just like run of the mill. I don't know. What do you think?
I can see that. I think like I said, I think it's a great standard of what's out there. And even saying that, like, I don't mind a Bud Light. They have their spot. They're the shower beer. They're the I just mowed the lawn beer. They're the I'm mowing the lawn beer. Like we have a light lager, light lager on, and it's like, yeah, this is fine. Like it's 4%. Yeah, I'll drink a bunch of, and then just drink one after.
Go on the boat and drink like 12 of them in a day and still be able to function afterwards.
Right. They have their spot. It's just not all year.
Buddy, you guys would have laughed at this one. So I was in Ireland coming back from the desert after where we could not drink for like 6 months.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
Dry country.
That sounds terrible.
So we're coming back. We're in Ireland, and our internal clocks are like all sorts of screwed up. Plus, you're in an airport, so airport time is zero. So next thing you know, airport beers, exactly. The owner, the bartender, whatever he was at the time, sees us all coming, and he's like, "I'm opening early." So next thing you know, he gets everything ready. So we all go up, and everybody's like two-fisted Guinness. Oh, Guinness. Everybody's got a Guinness. And all of a sudden, I hear the bartender in his thick Irish brogue. He's like, "Who in the hell ordered a Miller?" It's my buddy next to me.
Not in Ireland.
I'm like hanging my head. I'm like, dude.
Even my wife like Guinness in Ireland. So like,
so next thing you know, my buddy like reluctantly raises his head and he's like, "Oh, here you go, Mendez," and hands him the Miller. And we're like, "God damn it, what are you doing?" We're like, "When are you coming back to Ireland?"
Right.
It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This guy orders a Miller. So I mean,
you gotta say that you would think that the Guinness is probably a whole lot better in Ireland than it is here in the States.
It's completely.
I don't know. I didn't find much of a difference. But then again, I didn't have a side by side comparison. We were the other side of the Atlantic
in a vacuum. Yeah.
So
I mean,
if somebody gave me two side by side pours, it'd probably be different. So I mean, the water is different there. The air temp, everything is different.
Part of it's probably mental too, though. I'm sure.
So there's going to the Johnson Bell's Craft Beer program. You do tasting. You actually just take notes. You don't talk about it until everyone's done. Because the second you suggest something, now that's in your head.
Yeah,
and you're like, "Oh, I totally taste the chocolate in that."
Yeah,
like there's nothing, and it's all coffee. It is. Those little cards for wine. They do that, so you get home and be like, "Oh, I totally taste that blackberry." Okay, like nope. But
I sure did.
And so those cards are one of the best pushers of wine. It's fantastic. The suggestion is
many different breweries, and on occasion people will say, "Oh yeah, it's got notes of this or notes of that," and I'm tasting it, and I'm like,
and they got their heads up and their pinky out at the same time.
Right. So that's fair. So when I describe how to do tasting, I'm like, be as pretentious as you can be. It is this, and also tasting thresholds are different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I'm super taster for diacetyl. Second, I don't like Czech pills. Like everyone's like, "How do you not like Czech pills?" I'm like, "It's fucking disgusting."
That's me with saisons.
Drinking butter, like I'm good. So it's like
same way for me.
Second, like you're like, "Oh, I taste. This is the most delicious beer I've ever had." I'm like, seriously, all I taste is butter, and it's totally valid. Like, but the second I say I taste butter, maybe now you're
right. Like, oh yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. I love a Czech Pilsner.
Yeah, nope, I'm good. So our brewer was like, "Can we do one?" I'm like, "If you have to,
if you have to." So we say it all the time too. And I keep saying, the phrase. Sorry, guys. But there's a beer for everyone.
Oh, totally.
Not everybody's gonna like every beer, but there's gonna be something for you.
So that's one of the biggest things. I mean, what is there? 140 styles of beer
like that. It's ridiculous.
I tell people that all the time because we get events, we get bridal showers, and it's like we have a seltzer. So like, if you really don't like beer, there's at least something. We typically have a cider on, like a malt cider. But I'm like, whether you like beer or not, there's so many styles, there's so many takes on those styles. There's something that you like, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'm an equal opportunity drinker. Like I drink almost everything.
Yeah. So, like I said, the only style so far that I definitely do not like is a saison.
Oh,
I
really?
can't, something about it. I don't know what it is, but I'm sorry. I've tried many of them, and every time I try one, I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll like this one. Nope, sure don't.
No,
still don't like it.
Not bad. Yeah, even like I'm a big IPA guy, but like even like a Belgian white or even like a triple. Is that what they call them? The triple, the old the monks that make them. It's different, but they're very different than an IPA. It's very different than an IPA stout. But
yeah, I think I'm more on that end. The Belgian stuff, the French stuff, the saison, that stuff cool. Ton of home brewing, and I got into cider, and I do like wild fermentation, and I got some stuff that is like incredibly clean, and it's like, how is that wild? And some stuff like that is the funkiest thing I've ever tasted. Right? Yeah, I got a buddy who's like, he loves delirium, and again, nope,
sorry. Yeah, it's styles for everyone.
It's just it. It's just one of those things.
That's why we started with 8 and very quickly went to 18.
Oh, that's fantastic. That was going to be the next question. So how many beers do you have on tap right now?
18. 18 taps. I think we're down to 16 right now. We have a seltzer. Sometimes we'll have a cider, but we try to cover as much range as possible. Because in the summer, someone wants a dark beer. In the winter, someone wants a light beer. I will say, like, we have so many events that
a little something perfect.
Yeah, and try to give a place for everyone. Like, that's what we're going for. That's what you got to provide. So,
and I think you guys do a great job.
Thank you. Oh, that's just so good.
Fantastic. This beer here on the end, I'm not going to say what I think it is, but it has like a cinnamony
aluminum,
like after aluminum aftertaste almost. It's quite delightful.
This, that I haven't got to the last one yet, but
right there.
As always,
like
folks.
Big red in the back.
But he's just about done.
He's just really.
But he's got a beer for afterwards too.
Right. But he's got a beer to wash his beer down.
Yeah, right.
So
he's a man of culture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right, man. Of course. So, what's your favorite style to drink?
The maltier end. My first style at home brewed was red. I tend to do a very seasonal beer. Yeah. Like with Witch Woman, that was my favorite. Right now, where I thought my brewer was going to be doing a wit. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I default to the malty stuff when I don't know. I'll, if there's like and also with this, now I'm like, all right, market research, right? You go somewhere. I'm like, all right, I haven't had that.
Mm-hmm.
You get those out of the way, and then I can try the stuff I want to. So
yeah, that's usually, I think a lot of us do that. We go someplace and, okay, well, I've had, those. Let's try something else. And then maybe I'll go back to what I know. So that's, guys, it's like we say this, I said it again. Try and expand your palate. Try something new. Get out of your comfort zone. You're not going to like everything, but you don't know until you've tasted it.
No, there's been plenty of stuff. Like, there are Czech pills I've had that I like. I'm like, oh, all right, sweet. I'll have another one.
Yeah, but normally you're not going to.
Typically, that style, I'm like,
you're going to see it on the menu. You're going to be like, I'm going to stay away from that.
Yeah.
I think that's why a flight is great, because you ability to try 4 different beers all at the same time, and you don't have to get a thing 4 of each.
I actually really like Imperials and Russian Imperials and Baltics and stuff. I get on a flight because I'm like, by halfway through the flight, I'm like, all right, that was delicious, but I'm already done. Yeah. And then it kills me because, when you find them in places, it's either in the bomber or the 16-ounce thing. It's like, can we just get a little 8-ounce can?
Yeah.
Like, that would be fantastic.
So, I came in
I'll pay a little more because I don't want
to get totally intoxicated and stagger out.
Yeah. It was like,
I want to remember what I tasted.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I came in. I told I came in here, and Mike was behind the bar. It was a Thursday night, and I had like 3 flights, and I tried all your beers. And I figured out which one I liked the most. I think it was this one in particular, the Good Grief, that I got a full pour of. It's good to be able to sample a little bit of everything. You have a very wide variety, wide spectrum of beer tastes and styles to dip my toes into a little bit of everything. See what
now, kids. Buddy's a professional.
Don't try this at home, guys.
Do not try this at home, okay? He's a professional. I mean, only Buddy is going into a place and just like, I'm going to order, 3-4 flights, and then I'm going to order another,
But he's kind of a big guy, Just
so,
he's going to try everything. Well, I guess you could say.
Absolutely.
Hours.
Yeah. And so, you think when is another own? No. So I was going to ask you what your least favorite style is, but I think we kind of hit on that already. Is there one that you just like more than a Czech Pils?
Probably not.
Probably
That's
not.
a diacetyl. If it's a clean, because that's one of those styles. It's like, diacetyl is fine, or minimal diacetyl is fine.
Yeah.
Right. Like, no. If it's clean, that's delicious.
What exactly is that?
So it's literally the butter compound they put on popcorn. It tastes buttery. So if you ever go to a brewery,
Genuine artificial butter flavor.
yes. So it is. If you ever go to a brewery and a beer tastes buttery, so there's a off compound from yeast that is called diacetyl, and there's something called a diacetyl rest in beer. So you bring the beer back up to slightly below room temperature, something. And then the yeast will actually remetabolize that and get rid of it. So it happens a lot in lagers because there's nothing to hide it. And it's purely a yeast product, so it is understandable in some and acceptable in some styles, where other styles, it's like that's an off flavor. And to a certain level, it's an off flavor in all styles, right? So it is literally the compound they put on movie theater butter on popcorn.
Let me. Well, we're talking about pilsners, and you mentioned wine.
You're going to talk about popcorn.
And popcorn. Popcorn.
That's an idea.
That could be a thing.
Yeah.
One thing that's always like that, it's kind of like popped around in my mind a little bit. Say that you're a craft beer guy, I'll ask you, what's the difference between a pilsner and a lager?
That's a trick question.
It is. Lager is a general category of beer, where you have ales and lagers, and a pilsner is a very specific style.
Can you give an example of both? Big box.
So big box. So you're talking lagers, you're talking Modelo, you're talking all pilsners, you're talking all American light lagers,
like Bud Heavy, Bud Light.
Yeah, exactly. That's the lagers. And you're talking a pilsner. You're talking German. It's
no light.
Right? Technically, it's an American pils. All of American beer is some version of a German beer, so it's all Mexican beer. Difference is with pilsners, it's all grains. With Reinheitsgebot is all about taxes. Or the church controlled hops in the 16, 17, 1800s.
That's how the law came about?
That's how the law came about, because you had to use hops in it. So the church controlled the hops, which they got the money. It's all about taxes, nothing about purity.
Money.
The more you know.
Yeah. So science, history. Yeah,
I love this obscure history. Go on.
All right, I'll continue. So all American lagers are pilsners with adjuncts, right? Like, so you got American lagers, you get rice, and you got corn, depending, and then all Mexican lagers, you get corn exclusively. Like, I think it kicked. We have it in cans. Juan's Mexican lager. It's a pilsner with a ton of corn in it. Like, it's really good. Yeah, thank you.
I had that wheat this.
Yeah. Yep. So it's really just, it's all variations of the same thing. And, I love it because it's like, we did a Kolsch and ended up being like a double Kolsch, like 80% Kolsch.
What's a Kolsch? No, what's a Kolsch?
So it is almost a lager.
Yeah.
So it's a an ale yeast fermented at like the high end of lager temperature.
Some of them are done like cold water, right? Is that a thing? Cold water or is it cold water? What?
So the cold IPA.
Yeah.
So that's on that feel of end of things where it's like an ale yeast just on the really cold side or the hot side of lager.
Bordering the temp is still technically called an ale or a lager.
Correct. Ales are what? Brewman, right? And are top fermentation where a lager is cold.
Yeah, that line is get a little more blurred with some of like the newer stuff. Like
I don't even understand by that science, by the way. I started drinking. I geek out for it.
which is important. I appreciate it.
At the end of the day, as long as you drink it.
I'm a science geek.
Yeah.
That's what got me into homeschooling was the science behind everything and the infinite variables and random outcomes, possibilities of it all.
Yeah, and tweak one little thing and it changes the beer completely.
Oh yeah,
you go from
sometimes not for the better.
1 degree up or 1 degree down, and it can change everything.
Yep.
You throw in something sooner rather than later, and it just
oh shit, I forgot to throw it in. I throw it in now, and it's like it's Whirlpool. Whirlpool. I was like, oh shit, now Whirlpool gives you way more aroma and flavor as opposed to
So there's an infinite random number of
absolutely
variables in all of it. So it's just fascinating that these little bits of yeast or whatever and grains or hops or sugars or whatever can just create this magic in it lasts.
Yeah.
So
our home brewer, our head brewer, he's like, I don't make beer, I make sugar. Like I made sugar for the yeast, and the yeast make the beer.
I let them do the rest.
Yep.
Nature.
So
It's amazing.
kind of piggybacking off of that, have you guys had any happy accidents where all of a sudden you think something is completely ruined?
So I will say the double Kolsch was one of those things like, holy shit, you wanted to make Kolsch and it's 8%.
I still can't get over that.
It was delicious. I am pushing for the end of like, yes, it was a mistake, but it's awesome. That's what we to the brew. Yeah. So we have Sprockets, which was what it originally, it's a traditional Kolsch, and that's what it was supposed to be. But I'm like, all right, we need to bring back the double Kolsch because 1, no one has that. 2, it was fantastic. And 3, you didn't taste the alcohol. It was so clean. It was dangerous. The best part.
Well, that's just it. We've had
Bob Ross of Brewing.
Yeah.
We've accidents.
We've had many of an 8%er where you're like, this doesn't drink like an 8%, and I'm going to get in trouble today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are the.
I gotta switch it before I get in trouble.
Yeah. I've had 14%. I feel like I'm eating candy rather than.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, 15% alcohol my volume. Oh.
And usually though, something like that, but to me at least anyway, I think they're so heavy though that I'm not drinking more than one of those.
Right. Oh, it was like drinking brownie batter.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Very, very thick, very heavy, delightful. I'm not saying bad. I'm just saying that I'm not having another pour.
I had a growler at Thanksgiving dinner after Thanksgiving dinner, and I was like sleeping by it like dessert.
Oh, I bet it. Yep. Put you right to sleep. So did you say that beer was named Sprockets?
Sprockets, yeah.
So now's the time on Sprockets when you do it?
Yes.
So now's the time on Sprockets when we dance. That's all the time we have on Sprockets.
So I love that skit. That was an old SNL thing.
Yep.
Back when it was still good. Because I haven't watched SNL.
50 years this year, guys. Cheers to SNL. That's
50 years?
50 years. They're doing it like this week. It's the celebration. Damn. All the SNL.
I go back every now and then. I'll watch like the old
Adam
ones.
Sandler.
John Belushi was still there. Gilda Radner and all that. And
Chevy Chase.
Back in the beginning when
I like
the not ready for primetime players.
Mm-hmm. I like they do those news broadcasts. I'll see that on Instagram or something, and it's like, God, they don't leave and nothing is off the table. No, it's like,
do you guys have any plans to do any kind of like limited releases? I know that's kind of a thing that's been popular in the last several years, like doing, barrel aged. So we do collaborations, limited releases. Of course, if it's in a black glass bottle, and there's some wax on the cap or the cork or whatever.
Right.
That it's got to be magic in the bottle.
Right. It better be magic in the bottle.
Whatever you're paying for it, yeah. You ain't $20 for a bottle.
Yeah.
Right.
So not than that extensive, we're fairly limited. So right now our philosophy is we'll do a beer. If it's popular and we bring it back, then that gets canned.
Okay.
Other than that, we're not doing too much in like the packaging. We started out with a ton of barrel stuff because there was a distillery in North Attleborough. They moved to Pawtucket, and they weren't producing in-house for a little bit. So we now actually have a barrel sitting over there, just wait for something that will work in it. We've tried a bunch of different stuff. The traditional stuff, the dark stuff in it, porter, throw some cocoa nibs, like that stuff. Yeah. And then we had, I think mezcal if it's not produced in Mexico.
Yeah, it's mezcal, yeah.
So we had a mezcal barrel. No, agave. We had an agave barrel, and we did our blonde in it with some like lime rinds to give it like that. So we called it like a south of the border blonde.
It's gonna be,
Drinking problem.
Seems to be me lately. I don't know what it is.
So all the barrel stuff, yeah, we're trying to keep it. Like to do more of that, and that's something my partner Mike is great with, is the barrel stuff. But we just got that like getting in the year, so we haven't brewed anything that obviously getting years slower.
See what you guys do with that.
Yeah. So I think it's a bourbon / whiskey. I'm not sure which, but that end of things. So we'll see. Probably something darker and let it sit for a few months, and then
Full flavor, probably a little high octane.
Yeah. So
Can't wait to see how it turns out.
So, talking about the cans, get a little serious for a moment. We're not going to bring politics into this at all, but the tariffs on steel and aluminum, correct. 25%.
Correct. And the majority of aluminum for cans comes directly from Canada.
Yeah.
So the Brewers Association, I want to say, sent out an email saying that, obviously, like both of those will be affecting craft beer because, kegs are kegs. Once you have it, it's a physical asset. It doesn't really have a problem occasionally. The cans, that's probably going to be a problem.
That's,
because 25%.
Yeah.
I don't know if is Canada the 25% or if it, okay.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
And I think that takes place in March. It's supposed to start.
So that could be a significant increase for craft beer because the majority of that does come directly from Canada.
Yes.
So we'll see how that has affected us. But I mean, there's like Brewers Association. I know I'm aware of it. I'm sure most craft beer breweries are cognizant of it because it will be a increase. I mean, I will say each can individually isn't that much of the price of the beer, but it's still a cost to us in producing.
Right, when you're purchasing 1,000 cans.
Right.
Yeah.
Went from
An extra 10 cents a can.
right. Absolutely.
Out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Sit on it.
And that adds up enough that then that prices then have to go up.
You either have to eat the cost of the additional cost of the can to keep your prices where they are.
Right.
And we had this discussion this week.
Yeah.
And distribution is already, we're selling it to the distributor for half price, and then they're selling it to the store for half of that, and then the store is then selling it for, and it's like a
Stupid amount of money.
yeah. And it's like, okay, so I mean, but how craft breweries buy at the brewery because that's where we make. I mean, cans of go are already reduced from the tap prices, but when we sell it to a distributor, and
You guys are losing money there.
Yep. And obviously they fill a role of getting our beer out.
Yeah. It's a necessary evil, unfortunately.
Yes. Right.
Are you guys in stores?
Yes. So we had a distributor. It seems like they're not in business anymore. So we're looking for a new distributor. We have someone we're talking to. And we also do self-distribute, but Rhode Island is different.
Yeah.
Can't
Thanks, Rhode Island.
Brown's a little.
We've been
talking
about that.
Thanks, little buddy.
Yeah. They are lobbying to change that.
Yes, that would be fantastic. I know many Rhode Island breweries don't distribute simply because of that.
In Rhode Island breweries, you can only get like a case of beer and walk out, right?
Yeah. There's a limit to how much you can
mass, like
you're supposed to buy it. It's
I'm in a treehouse. The guys are walking out with dollies of like, probably like $5,000 worth of beer. It's incredible difference.
So they turned around and gave us 2 cases. So
No, that's for yeah, right.
yes.
But yeah, it's one of those like, and because we're so close to the border, it kind of cuts off half our market.
Yeah.
Like we should be distributing in Rhode Island, but we have to go through the distributor.
Another reason to get out there, folks. Come on out here.
Breweries, guys. It's good as being in.
That's just it. There's going to be a lot of them over here on this side of the border. You're not going to find.
yeah, it's 10, 15 minutes over the border. It's not that far of a drive.
Guys, our closest brewery is another Rhode Island brewery. Which is
hilarious. Yeah.
So after that, it's Attleborough Brewery, Skyrock, and then I would say 67. They've been placed in Rentham, so you could do start Rhode Island and then cross the border and hit 3 others fairly quick.
A little trail.
Another like great reason to come in. I mean, it's a great environment. They have a lot of great beers on tap. During the month of March, this is one of the participating breweries in the Mark Ambrose Bingo. You can find Mark Ambrose here.
Absolutely.
Probably at least twice a month and get a self-food mark here and stamp your marker on your bingo cards and, work your way towards that 50-50 prize. So
There we go.
Yeah. So, we all remember way back when we had our first sip of beer. What was your first beer?
Oh, ooh. I mean, I think there's a picture of me with a bottle as a baby, but
That's awesome parenting.
we started them young in Irish families. But I think my first real one was probably a Corona with lime. My aunt was like, "Do you want some?" I'm like, "Okay." So, not exactly the yes. I mean, there's an absolute lime. Looking at what she does now, it's like full lime in each bottle.
Right.
Full lime.
Much flavor.
I get it.
And,
Salt the rim on top of it.
my first choice is probably there's a red somewhere, and that's why I started drinking Killian's Inc.
I was going to say Killian's.
Yeah, that was
my first.
that was my default. Like, I don't know what to get, so I'll get a 6-pack of Killian's.
Would you qualify that as your first craft beer?
Yes, yeah. Killian's was actually to the point where I was buying it so much. I emailed. I was like, "Thank you for making a great beer," or something to that effect, and they sent me a couple pint glasses. That's my shirt.
Nice.
I was like, "Hey, awesome,
Nice.
yeah."
Nice.
So, we're talking about import beers. What's your favorite import?
Favorite import. Jeez. Oh, you know what? Start that. I have. It's gonna take a while.
No. You go. No.
Seriously? Okay, I'll kick it off. Old Speckled Hen.
And that's a good one.
That's one of my favorite imports. The next one after that would probably be Red Horse, but it's not the same here as it is overseas.
I was gonna say, brand in Europe or abroad, or just
There's so many.
yeah. So Newcastle would probably be mine.
Newcastle?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's technically brewed over there anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if it is.
I don't know.
I love.
But
It started over there.
yeah, we'll go with that.
So I get you guys. So in Canada, not in the States, because it's made its way into the States. It's just not the same. Molson Triple X all day.
I knew he was going Molson.
I went to Canada with a friend when we were like 18. We bought I think we bought like a 12-pack of Molson Triple X up there, and we were hammered by the end. We were in a motel room. We were safe. We weren't driving anyway. But it's just a different story in a different country.
I think the beer culture is we have one of our bartenders just been going to Vermont lately. He's like, it's fantastic. You got beer culture. You got we don't have beer culture here.
I mean,
Like,
Because we stigmatize all alcohol.
right? It is. Well, I going back to the kids thing. I think that's one of the problems with kids and breweries, because people are like, well, I don't want to drink with kids around. I'm like, why?
Right.
Are you coming in to get hammered? Because I don't want you here. If that's what you're, I want you here for several beers to be social and have a good time. Yep. You know, like if you want to get destroyed, everyone knows those places people go to get destroyed. Like start here, have a good time, have some beers, leave before you should go somewhere.
You need to go on to the next one.
Right. And you know, whereas New Hampshire, it's like, or Vermont, it's like you go and like there's families, you're hanging out, you get some food, like that's your afternoon. Like that's what we want here. Now I try to explain that to my staff where it's like you need to like explain beers. You need to explain that like, yeah, that's the kind of environment we want. We don't want like just the, you know, afternoon drinker who just wants to get, you know, as shitty as possible.
Hey. Why don't go on me? I'm off to get fucking me. What? You mean?
Because like first flag to me is like people walking in like, what's the highest ABV? I'm like, okay, unless you're butted right there.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me like that. It's all about flavor, guys.
There we go.
Double the alcohol, but double the flavor.
It just happens to work out that way.
Yeah.
I know, but
I'm a flavorful kind of guy.
It's you know, it's one of those things though where you know you go to other countries and overseas and everybody outside of the U.S. here, it seems like underage drinking is not a problem. Binge drinking is not a problem when they do come of age if they're old enough to reach the bar. And it's because they're raised around it. It's not
you want to sip? Have a sip.
Exactly.
When I went to the old country and I was a kid and my cousin cracked open a beer and I freaked out because,
oh my God,
15, 16-year-old girl in there cracking open a meatos. And I'm like, what are you doing? We're going to get beat for this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to die. You know? And it was just like, what is your problem, dude?
Right.
You know, again, my cousin was, well, you know, was probably 14, 15, 16, and I might have been like 10 years old. And I'm like, you know, they find out I'm going to get in trouble. And it was just like, we're just cracking up.
Next thing you know, the adults are coming around going, why aren't you having any? What's wrong with you?
Right. Yeah, like, you know, where's his? And I'm like,
absolutely. I think that's something a big problem in the U.S. where it's like, yeah, you're only exposed until you get to college. Maybe in high school if you're sneaky enough.
Not that long ago, you know, for us older folks, right? There were blue laws where you couldn't buy stuff.
Oh, right.
I remember that Sundays.
You couldn't buy alcohol, like
running into. We had to go with the mess. The Shell gas station on Room Miami. When that movement did, so I used to go there.
Yeah, you know, it's the culture I think has changed.
Well, now we still got limited hours on Sundays.
Well, yeah, you got
why?
At least so many limitations, and when you tell somebody that they can't do something, immediately.
Right.
That's what they want.
Right. Exactly.
You know, like little kids. Oh, you can't do something? Okay.
No, well, why can't it's gotta be really good if I can.
Now you're my curiosity makes me want to do it. So now I'm going to be forced to do it.
Correct.
Like, you know, in European countries, some of them don't have drinking ages. Yeah. And I'm not saying that they don't have
it's common sense, though.
Right.
That's what they do.
I'm not saying that
an 8-year-old goes into a bar trying to get a beer. It's like, they're like, what the hell is your problem?
Yeah.
You know, you're in with your parents at 13. You're like, yeah, like, right. You know, you can't get a 15% thing, but
right. But it's like, okay, so, you know, it's not a big deal. So if you don't make it a big deal, it's
not a big deal.
And exactly. No desire to do it.
Right.
You know, underage drinking, you know, we all did it. Yeah. We should.
Well, some did it. Yeah, some of us more than others.
Some others.
I'm running into that with the town. They're very difficult on certain things to get through. Like we're trying to do a beer garden at Farmers Market on Wednesday night, and like, well, there's families there, and we're very family friendly here. There's families here,
right?
Like, do I want a 6-year-old walking across the thing with a beer? No. Like, well, are you going to be carding? I'm like, yes, of course, I'm going to be carding.
You pussy out or what?
No, man, I got it. It's flawless. Check it.
Hawaii. All right, that's good. It's hard to trace, I guess. Wait, you changed your name to McLovin? McLovin?
I'm going to do the exact same thing I do here because I don't want to get sued.
Exactly.
The liability.
Yeah, like it's going to be the exact same thing. Just over there where people can, well, I didn't really want to go, but I'll go grab a beer while you guys look at the farmer's market. We'll go get dinner after. Great.
Yep.
Maybe that means that they then go to the farmer's market. You know, bring people downtown, bring a better sense of community to the town because they're more involved in stuff going on. So it's been an uphill battle. I actually had to speak in front of the town council. I talked to our town manager, and I got called into an economic and development subcommittee for just
the Attleborough version or not the Attleborough version with police.
Yeah. It was like basically they implied I'd be overserved.
Was it like a dance court?
And I'm like, it's fear, guys. If you don't want me to bring the 9%, like I won't. I'll bring the
9%.
But it was one of those like, holy crap, there's actually a couple Sun Chronicle articles about it, and some community members reached out to Sun Chronicle and voiced
basically the good old Sun.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a new segment, a little thing we're gonna do here. It's mail time.
Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here.
Mail time.
It's mail time, folks. So I got a couple things here from viewers and followers and some questions. So we got a few. So the first one, Billy A out of Braintree. What do you love about your job? It's a great question.
Weird to anybody.
Nothing? You don't love anything about your job?
That's why he drinks. Yeah.
Oh, you.
Oh, wait, I thought you were talking about it was a B, so I thought it was
No, you.
So, what I love about my second job.
So you're friends. This is his second job.
Yeah, so currently I have a full-time job and I do this on the side. Obviously, the hope is that this becomes the full-time job. But I guess my favorite thing is I get to brew what I want. Like, it is... I'm into that style. We're brewing this style. Nice. Like it is. We were talking about styles. We do a monthly staff meeting. We're talking about styles. I'm like, I want to do a wit, and my brewer's like, yeah, we do a wit. Now he's like, jazz about a wit. I'm like, sweet, awesome, let's do that.
All right. So next one we've got is from Steve R in Providence. When we see your beers in stores, that's tough.
Rhode Island is tough. Because we have to go through a distributor, and one of the biggest distributors right now, they're merging. So obviously, love to get into Rhode Island because we're so damn close.
Are you available in Massachusetts?
Yes, just limitedly in Mass.
In where?
Surrounding towns.
Say like Yankee Spirits, perhaps.
The smaller stuff, Yankee Spirits, they like to go through just bigger distributors,
right?
Because they want to deal with one.
So
they want a bunch of beer through one distributor. We're in the smaller stuff. If we're, I know we're over in Seekonk. Drawing a blank on the name. Kind of a mid-sized one over there. Another Yankee Spirit size, but a good size one. I'm gonna draw a blank on it.
Did we guess bars?
No. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
We'll figure it out.
All right. So last one is from Will H out of Cumberland. I love turtles.
So do I.
I love turtles.
I mean, the ninja variety, especially.
I mean,
right.
What else can you say?
Leonardo was my favorite growing up. So.
Oh yeah, look at the true swords. So I love turtles. All right, so it's time to do our tallying and see.
Oh, let's do this now. Let's get this out of the way, guys.
I'm ready to score, and we'll wrap things up.
Stretch the cock here.
Yep. So can I come up with 4 aces yet? We're going to check the result. So Costas is currently the top cock. And we're going to try and dethrone him, and we'll see how this goes. All right, so here it is. All right, so John, what was the first one?
First one was Jeffrey.
Yeah, buddy.
Nope.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, got that wrong, and I got
that.
All right, so the next one,
Salinas.
I flip-flopped those two.
So did I.
All right, so we're still the running. Yeah, so number 3
is Florida.
3 is the I got that. Which means good green. Okay, is number 4. All right, good green. So I get 2. You got 2.
We all have 2.
I got 2. You got 2.
Oh, you guys suck. All right, you guys battle out the winner. I know me and Ed would battle it out.
You're gonna have to battle it out first.
You two have to battle.
All right, I'm gonna do it. So, folks, you know, if you've been watching the show, that if there's a tie, we settle this in the age-old samurai tradition of rock, paper, scissors. Alice,
I know you heard Buddy's loud, boisterous voice and you got up again, huh? Okay, we'll be here.
Sorry, Alice. Alice, eat up your dad real quick.
Come here, cookie.
And I'm going to beat up cost. There you go, Tom. All right, you ready? Best out of three.
Best out of three.
1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. And 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
The next one is a little.
Please do not knock me. No. You're good there.
You think you're all right?
Don't go any further.
Ready? Best of three. Here we go. Alice. All right. Avis. Shoot.
And I didn't shoot. And I didn't shoot.
Yep.
Oh! Give me the cock!
Yeah.
We have a dethroned.
Mine! Just hold on.
Give me a hand slip on the table.
I can't. So we have dethroned the Greek, and this is Buddy's first top cock.
First time?
First time.
Special for everyone.
First time for the top cock. I mean, everybody remembers the. Well, I don't, but Buddy will never forget the first time you got the cock.
If you guys like rock paper scissors, we are having a rock paper scissors tournament for team domination. It's a Parkinson's fundraiser.
Nice.
I want to say in March, but I have to double check.
So I couldn't help but notice that you have the Leo Strong
Alice,
window. Can you tell us all about that?
You're in good hands now.
So Leo was
Calm down there, Tiger.
pretty town North Attleborough resident who I diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma.
Oh, okay.
I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. I'm not sure the time frame. He ended up losing his leg to it. A couple of years ago, he it developed in his shoulder again. And under treatment for the last couple of years, he ended up passing away just before Christmas this year. When he was first diagnosed, middle schooler. Oh, God. I want to say a freshman.
That's a guy. That's
not positive. We did several fundraisers for him, for his family, because obviously with that level of treatment, his parents need to take a lot of time off.
Oh my God, I bet.
Not that I'm trying to sort of dark.
No, but that's kind of one of those things. We actually did we rebranded one of our beers, actually the red ale, to be number 9 stronger because he played football and his name picked number 9. And all profits for a month from that beer,
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Giving back to
good.
Sure.
Trying as much as possible. That one I will say was a little tough that was our first time doing anything like that. So I was like, everyone's coming in to call me that. Make zero money. But it ended up they got a very large check from us, and it was awesome to give back.
Right. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But people will remember that you did that. The outcome.
Yeah.
Right. It brings people in the door.
Right.
And
that's obviously part of it, but that's, we get to be, use our resources for the community. And that's what,
and that's, we've done a couple of fundraisers ourselves, and it's just, we're not looking to get anything out of it.
We
just
giving
back. Yeah, the same thing with like the Mark Amber's bingo. We're not getting anything out of that.
Mark's not getting a dime.
Neither is Mark.
The winner is going to split the 50-50 charity with the Ronald McDonald House of Providence. It's a tremendous organization down by Tilden, Rhode Island, Hasbro Tilden Hospital, helping families, helping kids.
We did. Growing up, I did they do a 5K every year.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Or they still do it?
We did it several times growing up. It's an awesome event. But we get all the time because most places charge for the space, even for fundraisers. We don't. I don't understand why these organizations who are trying to raise money are getting charged, and I understand it to a point where, you can design our space, but to me, you're bringing in customers.
Right.
Yeah. So that's, if you bring in a massive crowd, awesome. You use my entire space, awesome. Yeah. We're getting money via beer sales. Yeah. And those are some of our best nights. We have a veterans event, New Englanders for helping our veterans.
Yes, I know that one.
End of the month.
Yep.
It's to help veterans with everyday expenses.
And you said that's when?
End of the month. The 22nd, I want to say. Always our biggest night of the year. Just one beautiful night. Yes, and we don't charge them anything. The band, Toby Road, plays. It's free. Just trying to push everything towards helping veterans.
Thanks for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Well, we've got a little over today, but that's okay. Good conversation, great beer. And
I'm looking forward to having another one, honestly.
so that's just it. In his first, we got to wrap it up. So, folks, make sure you get out here. Angle Tree, North Attleborough. Come say hi to John.
Appreciate it. Guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, John. Also,
So much for your time.
beers.
So, for 3 Dudes Brews,
Yeah, that's it, Claus. That's it. That's Claus. There's somebody there. We're out. Thank you for tuning in, guys.
thanks, folks.
Thanks, guys.
Remember, drink local. Cheers.
Cheers.